What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire, as always. Spitting those hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. Want to talk about boxing and what to expect in 2022 in the new year. In Orlando, kicking it. Let's get into it. Holla at y'all. So, boxing 2022, about to be a live year. For those of you all not keeping up with professional boxing, make sure you do. UFC, Ultimate Fighting is doing their thing, but boxing has been on a comeback for a little while now. And we're in an era that is growing and becoming a classic era. Make sure you pay attention. Boxing 2022 is going to be laid out for you all. Just so you know, I'm going to start with the heavyweight division. I'm going to give everybody their vegetables first. Most important thing for you, the heavyweight division. It's always been the glamour division and the division that everybody wants to see because, let's be honest, fighting violence is one of the top priorities that draws people for entertainment. Whether you're watching a good soccer match or a nice ice skating event or a track and field event, basketball, football, doesn't matter the sport. Let somebody yell out fight and see what happens when everybody's heads turn to see what's going on because it draws our attention. And that's what we get out the heavyweight division. These guys are usually the biggest guys on the planet, slugging it out and knocking each other out, preferably for the fans. We don't really care about a technically sound heavyweight fight. That being said, we got some star heavyweights this year, and 2022 is going to be huge for the heavyweight in professional boxing. We're going to find out, in my opinion, I think we're going to get an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Anthony Joshua is training right now with Floyd Mayweather, they say, and other American trainers preparing for his rematch with Usyk. Now, Usyk is a proven champ, one of the most tested boxers out there. Along with Anthony Joshua, he didn't get enough credit for the competition level he's willing to fight against. Unlike, I'll say, guys like a Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, who haven't fought complete bums their whole career, but haven't had as many top opponents in the ring with them as, say, an Anthony Joshua. Joshua's getting back into the ring with Usyk, and we're going to see how that goes. Me personally, I don't think he can beat Usyk. After seeing the first fight and what I knew about Usyk already, he's so technically sound, precise with a chin and good footwork. I think even if Anthony Joshua tries to run through him and bully him, which I think is the only option Anthony has, and I'm an Anthony Joshua fan, I think he can take his punches and he's going to be okay. And then it'll be who's the better boxer, which I think is Usyk. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But if Usyk wins, he'll get an opportunity to fight for undisputed against probably Tyson Fury. And the rumor has it he's vacating his belts to make it so he can only have to fight against Usyk or Joshua, whoever settles that issue. He's trying to avoid Dillian Whyte. I'd like to see Fury fight Dillian Whyte, but he doesn't want to fight him. Most people, I think, would favor Fury in it. But I will say, outside of Deontay Wilder and Klitschko, Fury has never fought anybody else I would say is as good as Dillian Whyte. So take that as you may, but the heavyweight division will be lit this year. Pay attention to it, and I've got my eye on you too, Deontay Wilder. Please step back in the ring and fight somebody. You fought Ortiz, which was legit. You got outboxed, but you did win the fight with your power. And now you talked all that trash to my man Tyson Fury and couldn't back it up 3 times. And now you talking about not fighting again. You look like a bully, my man. Don't be the bully. Get yourself together. We rooting for you in the States. Plenty of African Americans want to see you do well. Get back in the ring and get it on. But check out the heavyweight division in 2022, y'all. We'll move on to the rest of the division. The next division you want to pay attention to, or the person really, is going to be Canelo Alvarez. Everybody's heard of him. He's a big name in boxing. He's earned his reputation as pound for pound the best boxer in the world over the years of the people he's fought. The criticism is deserved too as well. He's learned from the Mayweather team how to pick and choose your fights at the appropriate time where it's a good decision for him money-wise, and also when he's ready physically and experience-wise. Doesn't mean he's completely ducking people, because he fights competition all the time. But yeah, we would have liked to see him fight Benavidez. We'd have liked to see him with one of the Charlo brothers or Andre down at 160. But regardless of all that, he's still stepped up time and time again, and you can see the improvement in Canelo, and he brings the fans what they want. Him going up to cruiserweight, 2 weight divisions from where he was, is going to be spectacular to see how he fights against a guy that's used to fighting so heavy. I doubt Canelo will get to 190 or 195, but he'll get close enough to make it a fight. He'll probably outbox this gentleman. If he knocks him out, that'll be special. But the rumor is after that he'll come down to 175 and work to be undisputed there, and there are some dogs there. So we'll keep our eye out. Make sure you do. Canelo Alvarez in 2022 is going to do big things, in my opinion. And down the line, little tidbit, little something to think about in the future, we might get him against a star like a Errol Spence or a Terence Crawford down the line when it makes sense for them. But that won't be 2022. That's a story for another day. So if you want to know what the next division is, you got to pay attention to. We're talking about the 130-pound division. Shakur Stevenson is a stud there, getting a lot of training from Bud Crawford, who a lot of people think is pound for pound the best boxer in the world. But also Errol Spence, a friend of his. He won't choose if they fight each other who should win that fight, but he gets a lot of tutelage from both of them, plus his own trainers and other folks that are around him. Shakur is a stud. He's about to unify the 130-pound division, if you don't know, so make sure you look him up. And more than likely will be undisputed, provided the fact that they give him the opportunity. Some dude's gonna duck him. They've been ducking him already, and I expect more of that to happen. But when you go to 135, the 135-pound class is where I think Shakur gets some smoke eventually. Let's start with Tank Gervonta Davis. Don't forget about the fact that he supposedly has got a deal in the works with Gary Russell Jr. Beltway rivalry, gonna be legit. Make sure you check that out. Supposedly it's gonna happen sometime around the summer. Everybody's gonna wanna see that. And we talking about a guy in Gary Russell Jr. who boxing's in his blood, technically sound, one of the fastest hands. He would claim the fastest hands in all of boxing, and technically sound. Definitely has got the skill and the speed to possibly beat Gervonta. Question is, can Gervonta weather that storm and put him to sleep? How is Gary Russell's chin? We're going to see that in 2022. Make sure you keep a lookout for that as well. Also, in addition to that, in the same weight class of 135, we talking about Nomos Lomachenko looking for his opportunity, and he very well may get it soon. Devin Haney, they're saying, is going to get an opportunity to go against Kambosos, who is just got all of the belts by beating Timofeo Lopez, which we'll see how he bounces back as well. But it's a lot of action going on at the 130 and 135-pound division. Two of the best weight classes in all of boxing if you're looking for skill, talent, and perseverance. Then we got to go to the best weight class there is. So the last glamour division in boxing, the best pound-for-pound division in boxing, is the welterweight division at 147. The fight that everybody wants to see, obviously, is Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. No doubt about it. But we got Ortiz in there as well, a #1 contender at 147. We got Keith Thurman coming back after his sabbatical, because he's been gone for quite some time, trying to make a comeback against Mario Barrios in January with his hope of really proving himself and making it so he gets an opportunity against none other than Bud Crawford. And we'll see if that happens in July. Bud's trying to line up a fight for 2022 that'll be his fight before the big fight. But it looks like Errol versus Terence is going to happen in 2022, probably November or December, October at the earliest. But it does look like it's going to happen. Ugis fighting Errol Spence in March is a big time fight that people should pay attention to. Errol's opportunity to get 3 of the 4 major belts and continue his pursuit of being undisputed at 147, which is what he's been saying he wants to do before moving up to 154. And even if he loses the Ugis, remember Ugis beat Terence Crawford in the amateurs and feels confident against either of these guys, even though technically he did lose to Sean Porter, who lost to both of these guys. But some argued that he beat Sean Porter when he won that fight, and he did beat Manny Pacquiao. So Ugis is no slouch, even though Errol will be the favorite in March. And if all goes as planned, we'll get Errol versus Terence. But these two ain't the only special fighters at 147. Make sure you checking out Jaron Ennis. My guy looked like the second coming of Roy Jones. Maybe he'll be even better. But his ability to avoid the punches and strike with precision, his power with both hands, and his showmanship in the ring reminds you of a Roy Jones, Sweet Pea, maybe a Floyd Mayweather, but he's got all the skills and the talent, can switch from southpaw to conventional just like a Terence Crawford, 5'11", with a good wingspan. He think his reach is around 74, like right around the same as Terence Crawford. So Jaron Ennis is coming, and he the truth. I don't think we're going to see him versus Terence or Errol early on, because I do think that fight for those two, the fight we all want to see, is going to happen in 2022, and then one or both are going to move up. But eventually, Jaron Ennis going to be in their way, and they're going to have to see him. But make sure y'all tune in. Boxing 2022, no doubt going to be lit, and should be definitely a show for everybody to see. All right, that's all the time I got. Remember, you know what you're looking for. J Heat, Sports Media J, then Heat, then Sports Media, all one word. Remember to like, subscribe, or hit the bell, hate, comment, all that. And also catch me on Instagram and at the Vault JMU414 on Twitter. And of course, what's up TikTok? Holla at y'all next time.